Welcome to the Watering Hole. We're sitting down today with Mr. Kody West. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are y'all?
Doing great. You get to play Tumbleweed tonight. Coming back. How is it coming back?
I love getting the email asking if I want to come to Stillwater. It's a great. That means it's. I don't know. It's a great college town. It's always been a good town to us. We, started playing here at the Tumbleweed, opening up for several different acts, and it's been great. It's a really fun spot, and when you get to play outside at the calf fry, that's even more fun.
Do you remember the first time you played here?
Oh, I think we opened for maybe.
Okay.
I think that was the first time, or it could have been like a Reed show.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was and yeah, dude, I remember just like, this place gets packed.
Yeah.
This place really does get packed for sure.
I work here on college nights. I DJ out here on college nights, and it's packed out here. You can't even walk to. I got to play certain songs to clear the way so I can go to the bathroom at certain times.
Yeah, I need to go to the bathroom, so I need to send everyone to the bar real quick.
Yeah. Or play a line dance.
Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, when did you get into music? Like, when back was that?
I guess to start, like at the beginning, I loved guitar, so I started taking like guitar lessons in like 3rd grade, and I took lessons for a couple years, and then just picked everything up on YouTube. You can.
Yeah.
Was there like a certain guitar or someone you saw playing one that was like, man, I want to do that?
Yeah, I got real big into like acoustic, like bluegrass stuff. I had, honestly, I had my stepdad, his brothers had like a neighbor that was like a wizard at like banjo and guitar and fiddle, and so I would go over to this guy's house and just watch him and his other guys. That's the first time I saw a bluegrass circle, and I was just going like, oh, this is awesome. This is badass. And then they're singing harmony on top of it that I hadn't really heard harmony sing like that before. And so that was super cool to see that. So I really got into bluegrass and, country, obviously. Living in Texas. But, I also grew up listening to a lot of, like, alt rock. And, my brother was 6 years older than myself. So, so when he was in middle school and high school, I was listening to whatever was coming out of his room. So there was a lot of like Chevelle and Linkin Park and Nirvana and Incubus and just bands like that were real popular at the time. So I grew up, listening to a lot of that. So I, in my head, like I find myself like clicking my teeth to like Yellow Card like drum patterns, because that's just a band I grew up listening to. But yeah, so acoustic, and then I didn't start playing electric guitar until we were already playing shows as like a band. I picked, and probably that's honestly I was still playing acoustic when we released like the Green album on stage. I wasn't even really playing electric yet. So electric style wise, like I listened to like a lot of bands. I listened to a band called Manchester Orchestra. That was a huge, they're from Georgia, like at the Atlanta area, I believe. He's real influenced, like I'm heavily influenced, like electric style wise, from Andy Hull from Manchester Orchestra. A lot of bands like Gary Clark Jr. Being like a Texas rhythm guy. My guitar player introduced me to him, and that's when you hear like these really simple things but masterfully done, that you sit there and play the guitar over and over and over, and then like you see someone do something so simple, like a band called Highly Suspect. Some of their riffs are just like, how did I not think of that? That's just an A chord played like without this string ringing, and it sounds totally, I don't know, it's just like little things like that. But yeah, so first my inspiration was acoustic music and acoustic players. Like Tony Rice was a big guitar player I was into. The first song from my guitar teacher I ever learned was Daughters by John Mayer. and it took me 28 weeks. I remember I had a composition notebook that we took notes in once a week. My parents shelled out $40 a week for me to go take guitar lessons. And
Do you still have that notebook?
I probably do somewhere, honestly. Yeah. It's probably I use my merch tubs that break. I take them home and use them as storage at my house. So it's probably in a dirty old merch tub somewhere at my house. What were we talking about?
I think influences.
Yeah.
John Mayer.
Yeah.
Daughters.
So John Mayer, that was like the first song I ever learned. So that was a pretty advanced rhythm song to learn for a kid that doesn't know A, G, E, and D. Like the first chord I learned was a B major or B minor 7 or whatever. And my guitar teacher he was like, "You want to learn this? This is the first song you want to learn? This is pretty it's pretty tough." And it's probably a good thing that I did that, and I learned a hard song off the bat, because it really gave me an ear on how to learn things by ear. Mm-hmm. Of just like, I found myself once I learned, got kind of proficient at guitar, I would hear things and go, "Oh, I know exactly how that's played because I've played that before in another song." Like I hear that. But yeah, Mayer was a big acoustic influence, and then, like I said, the Gary Clark Jr. was a big electric influence, and Andy Hull from Manchester Orchestra. So yeah, that's kind of awesome. But it went acoustic and then electric.
Yeah,
just kind of rambled there for like 10 minutes.
You said you earlier you talked about alt rock and Nirvana, and I heard you guys playing Heart Shaped Box in there.
Yeah,
and I heard your lead guitar player start like the riff of it, and I was like, that's a badass Nirvana song. I looked over to him and I'm like, "Do you know any Nirvana?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And then we were in here talking earlier, and I was like, "Here it is, right here," and you guys started ripping into it.
Yeah, and that's honestly like I remember my uncle taking me to a pawn shop when I was a kid, and going over and looking at the wall of guitars, and I picked up a guitar, and he was trying to get the kid that worked at the pawn shop. He was like, "Teach him something on the guitar," and the kid started teaching me like Teen Spirit or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, Nirvana is a band like my brother listened to that I definitely listened to growing up, and it's like I find myself like that music makes more sense as I grow up too. Mm-hmm. I think music makes more like, especially lyric wise. You understand like what the people are talking about and what they're saying, and like that stuff I think as a kid you don't really pay attention to, and you just kind of mumble along as a kid, and you're just going with the music because you really like the music because the music's doing something. I think that's really what drew me in, was the music first, and then songwriting and lyrics just are kind of later.
What's your favorite lyrics? What's your favorite lyrical song? I guess how to put that. What's your favorite song that you love the lyrics to? I guess.
Man, I find new ones all the time. Just as of late, just because it's fresh on my mind. Just as of late, my buddy Mitchell Ferguson. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of him. He's got some great music. He introduced me to a guy. Well, Mitchell's got great music. He's a lyrical genius as well. But a guy called Medium Build. He's from Georgia. He lives in Alaska now, but he's awesome lyrical. Ryan Adams is a great lyricist. Guys like Noah Gunderson, the guy that wrote Ledges, the song that we have. A guy named Noah Gunderson wrote that song. He's one of my favorite lyrical guys. As far as actual songs, Enough Rope by Chris Knight is a fantastic song. I'll play it tonight during our set. I play a couple of acoustic songs, and I feel like the crowd kind of digs it. Sometimes the crowd hates it, but I do it anyways. But whatever. So I might do that tonight. What other songs do I love lyrically? Man, there's a metal band out, and people love them for their drummer, their guitar player, their bassist, their singer's awesome, but the singer's lyrics, a band out of the UK called Sleep Token. It's kind of a metal band. Their lyrics are so good, and it's you can almost not pay attention to it because the music's so good, But once you like also listen to the lyrics, and it's just like, oh wow, dude, like I don't know. I've been down a lyric path lately, so it's funny you asked that because there's a lot of songs that I've been listening to lately where I'm like, damn, the lyrics are so good, and I guess that's just like that's something I've been paying attention to more as I've gotten older, and more like as a writer as I've gotten older. I think I was a little more free when I was younger writing songs, so that made me like probably write more songs because I was just like, oh, this song's finish this one, next one, da da da, next one.
Yeah.
Now it takes me forever to finish the song because I think I overthink it a little more.
Yeah.
But sometimes I try to tap into that like of just going and writing a song and trying not to think about it, then going back and then editing it without the guitar, just like actually just editing the song. Just like reading it with like just going over it and just like seeing, does it actually make sense? Does this line actually make sense when I say this? You know, just because it rhymes, does it make sense? Does it make sense? And I think like that's a big thing. And when you can find a good way to be clever and make things rhyme and make sense and meaningful, I think that's stuff that I really enjoy. That's really good stuff. But even like, dude, like people hate on it, but like Morgan Wallen's songs, they're great. They're very well written songs. Like I think people that hate that, you know, talk shit on songs like that, they're not songwriters. And but like a lot of those songs are very very masterfully crafted. I mean, maybe. I mean, that's just me talking. But I mean, I think a lot of those good songs are they're better than people think. I mean, at least that's just me. But even like, dude, Turnpike's got some song. I mean, even songwriters like Turnpike, I mean, they've just got like Felker's got bars for days. I mean, he really
we
does.
put that on the t-shirt. Felker's got bars for days.
I love the lyrics to House Fire too.
Yeah. Even and that's a newer song. And so like even like that, and I love when artists, you know, can still write heavy hitters, you know, even after they've done 4 solid albums or 3. However, I forget how many albums Turnpike has, 3 or 4, I think. But they're
5 now.
Probably
it's 4 or 5. Yeah,
I think it's. Now I gotta know.
Yeah, it might be less than we think. Another like Shane Smith, they only have like 3 albums, but they like each album is just like a plethora of songs. There's like 12 or 15 songs on each album. Yeah. I love Shane Smith too. He's a great writer, but like it's cool to like listen to different writers, and
5.
they have Turnpike has 5 albums.
5,
Yeah, that's all. That's a catalog right there. I mean, you can play a different set every night.
Diamonds and Gasoline, Goodbye Normal Street, The Turnpike Troubadours, A Long Way From Your Heart, and then A Cat in the Rain.
Yeah.
They're all banger albums.
Oh God, they're so good.
Yeah.
And everyone in their band is just like is unbelievable. They're great musicians. The drummer's fantastic. Their bass player's fantastic. The lead player, Evan's great. The auxiliary guy, he was in a band kind of out of Denton called Raise Right Men, and they did like like 90s cover country songs, and they were fucking killer. I mean, they were so good. They would play at there's this bar is no longer there anymore, called Magnolia Motor Lounge in Fort Worth. It's now a hotel or a apartment or something like that. They bulldoze it, and now it's 20 stories high. Okay. But they used to play there all the time. We had a residency there. We played there like every like Wednesday night or Thursday night, and Raise Right Men, they were always playing. So like he was playing gigs like like Turnpike's auxiliary guy was playing gigs like just during the week when they were you know not touring. Huh. But yeah, they're fabulous, man. They're awesome.
I was gonna ask, what's your favorite like? What's the first one that comes to mind? Like, what's your favorite like song lyrics?
I think some early Joe Nichols. There's a lot of really hard-hitting songs there that get lost. Like on the Revelation album, there's like a lot of heavy-hitting songs on there. Man, I'm trying to think now that I'm on the spot here. There was something the other day I was telling you. It was just like we were listening to it at the house. I don't remember what it was. I was like, man, that is just the words of that song are just crazy. I mean, Mary, the damn quails.
Oh,
Mary,
yeah.
that's one for sure.
The damn quails are
You like the damn
fabulous.
quails?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
So, funny story. The
Does it
damn
involve Brian?
Yeah, it involves the whole band. Yeah. They were friends with my uncle. Or they are friends with my uncle. And before I was playing acoustic gigs. Like, this was before I had a band or anything. They were playing a gig at Love and War in Plano. And there was 2 locations, Love and War Grapevine and Love and War Plano. And they were at the Plano one, and my uncle somehow asked them if I could get on stage and sing California
Open Invitation?
Yeah. I haven't listened or played it or sang that song in forever. I don't know why I went blank on it. But yeah, California Open Invitation. And they let me on stage, and like not Brian, but the other guitar player, he just gave me his guitar, and I just started, like, thank God I knew how to play guitar, because if I didn't, like, if I did or didn't know, he was giving me the guitar anyways.
100% chance right there.
Yeah. And it ended up, it worked out. It was cool. At the time, like, I knew like, the, you know, if you put me on the spot now, I would butcher that song, just because I haven't, like, rehearsed it or, like, listened to it in forever. But yeah, that's they let me on stage to play that song. That was a long time ago. It was like 2013 or 14, like early 2014, maybe yeah, 2013 or 14 for sure.
We're doing a tell me about the stuff we're doing with Brian while I find this.
So we're starting to do like some live session stuff, and I seen that you've done some live session stuff too.
He was actually one of the examples that so Rick Smith, we started talking to him, and he was showing us some stuff they did with you a while back, and that's what kind of got us into that whole thing.
Referring to the
Shake Music TV.
Oh yeah, that was a real long time ago.
Yeah,
we did that in like 2017, I think.
Yeah,
that was cool. The Shake sessions, the people love the Ojigia. For some reason, like, that version is more popular than like the album version. But which is cool. I mean,
but we're starting to do some like live acoustic sessions like that, and we actually have Brian White, the Damn Quails. He recorded some with us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I would do that next time we're here. I'd for sure do that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
We're all falling in the ocean.
It was quite the experience.
The way that he articulates certain words, I don't know, it's so different than anybody else that I've ever heard sing, and that's what's so great about people like him. Is how different he is, and that's what's great about anyone that's different, honestly. But the way that he you can try to cover that song, but you can easily find yourself saying words like him and singing words like him. We're all falling in. I don't know. Yeah, that band is fantastic. I love that. I love that band.
It was we first met him back in July.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really listened to much of him. And then we had him on, he played some live songs, and then afterwards it was like for the next month or two, it was like just a repeat of their albums over and over and over again. Yeah. And ever since
it's
then,
addicting stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
really
now that you say that, I'm probably gonna listen to that on our drive on our drive to Stephenville tomorrow for sure.
How far is Stephenville from here?
Let's see. It was 3 hours, 3.5 hours here today from my house, and it's another like 2 hours. So it's probably 5 hours to Stephenville tomorrow.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Pilot Point, Texas, which is north of Denton, Texas. Okay. I'm from Denton.
So pretty close to the line then.
Yeah. Once you hop on 35, like I-35, you're within 35 minutes you're in Oklahoma. Like right there at Lonestar. Yeah. You're right there. A lot of people go up there and just gamble, but they have concerts at Lonestar. A lot of people up in our area they go to and stuff like that.
Isn't that like the world's like biggest casino or something like that.
That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know. I mean, it's like surely there's a bigger one somewhere. But
That's like saying the world's longest bowling lane is in Chandler.
yeah. But yeah, it's I used to live in Valley View, Texas, which isn't, I mean, even closer to the border. And me and my wife, we girlfriend at the time, but me and my wife, we would go to if we wanted, because it was closer than driving to Denton. We would go to, if we wanted like Panda Express, we would just go to Windstar and just get Panda Express and then just dip and just leave.
Okay, what's your go-to order at Panda Express?
God,
Because mine's the same every time.
if they still have, I haven't been in forever. If they still have the, I would get the half orange chicken and the one with the pineapple in it. It's like the Sweet Fire.
Sweet fire chicken breast.
But when I was in high school, I would sometimes when I would go there, some places wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like they would be like, "What's that? What's Sweet Fire?" Like, I don't know. But yeah, I guess the the classic orange chicken and that Sweet Fire if they got it.
Are you going chow mein or the lo mein?
Just rice.
Just rice.
Yeah, I'm pretty basic. I'm not a noodles guy.
Okay.
Even like with spaghetti, I've never been a noodles guy. So like I opt, like if I go to an Italian restaurant, I'll get whatever pasta dish I want, and I'll just ask them to sub the noodles for penne noodles because it's like the
Yeah.
the shorter
short
fat.
ones?
It's still
Yeah.
a noodle,
Yeah.
but I mean
Yeah.
it's just like I don't like long.
It's just the big rice, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean I've never been like a spaghetti noodle fan.
I mean, that's a solid point. Like, eating noodles might be one of the most unmasculine things you can do. Because you're like
Yeah.
trying to stir it and slurp it, and it's falling all over the place.
if you're good with chopsticks, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm decent with chopsticks, but not with noodles for sure. But like I can eat rice with chopsticks pretty proficiently.
When I eat Chinese food or Asian food, I like to pretend I know what I'm doing with chopsticks, but I don't.
I worked.
Rhett's got one of those hats that it's like the wicker basket hats, you know.
I eat it straight out of the wok.
Yeah. When I think of those hats, I think of that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean. Or this might be a scene. I might just be imagining this, but I think there's a scene where they're like just floating in a river and they have those hats on and they're using them as like to like breathe, like because they have them over
Oh,
themselves.
yeah,
'cause
yeah,
they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're in Singapore or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think they're using them as like cover so they can rescue someone.
I think they were in a boat too, upside down. Too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that
Yeah,
as well. That was
yeah.
in the first one
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, great films.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I've never
great
watched
films.
them all the way through.
Any of
So,
them? Oh
Really?
wow!
No.
I
So I
remember being a kid and seeing the previews like at the theater when I was going to see another movie, and and I would turn to my mom and say, "We're not going to see that," because they made it seem so scary.
Yeah.
Because the pirates turn
Yeah.
into skeletons when the moon
Yeah.
comes out. I was like, that is fucking scary. We're not going to see that. And I mean, obviously, it's not even a scary
Yeah.
movie, but yeah, great films.
What's the one that Johnny Depp was in also? I think Johnny Depp was in it with the like cowboy and Indian. You remember that?
Tonto.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but that's
That's not what it's called. But
yeah.
It was-
that-
it was
that's
the
a character.
Ranger. The
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Was that Johnny Depp?
Yes,
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
That's how I felt about that movie.
Pull
I
it
was
up,
like,
Jamie. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, that's gonna be terrifying. I can't go watch that.
Yeah.
And then watched it. It was great.
Yeah,
Are you a big film buff?
I do enjoy films. I wouldn't say I'm like compared to like real nerd. I mean about certain franchises and certain films. Yeah, quiz away. But yeah, I mean I love movies.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you have like a certain franchise? Like, what franchises are you fans?
Man, if I had to be honest, like my number one is probably like anything Tolkien related, like The Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Or The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Amazon show that came out 2 years ago, and they're doing season 2 this year just because they didn't really follow the story. They just kind of made some shit up as well. But yeah, I love all the Lord of the Rings is probably the strongest
Yeah.
trilogy, ever created in my.
Yeah,
in
that,
my-
I
in
mean
my
that
opinion.
that's solid. I like the Lord of the Rings as well.
I've also never watched that.
I haven't liked.
Dude.
Yeah,
I got a lot of
yeah,
movies to watch after this.
We would we would go to Florida every summer, and me and my brother, like, sometimes my parents would just drive straight through, like it's like 12 hours or 13 hours, and we would watch all three, the director's extended cuts. They're like 3.5 4-hour movies. We would watch them all. I grew up on those films. I mean, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. That was that was my era. I like the Spider-Man movies. I'm not like huge into the Marvel world. I think I haven't seen all those movies. I get lost in some of them. Some of the guys in my band, like, they could tell you about every single one. But a recent movie I really liked was Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
That was a good one I recently watched.
I did go watch
on
that.
Apple.
That was great.
It was really good.
I wanted to go watch it, but I didn't get a chance to go watch it, so I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out.
I want to see Oppenheimer, but
I do too. That's
It's
another
coming
one I wanna
out
see.
this month on Peacock.
Okay, but my wife, she said that she saw on her iPad, it was like a commercial during the show she was watching, and it said back in theaters, Oppenheimer. It's like they're putting it back in theaters.
Really?
I didn't know you could go back for a second term.
I
didn't know that either.
But it's because
it got voted out for a little while, but now it's gonna come back in here in a couple months, I guess.
But it also came out the same day as Barbie, so they think like that kind of killed the steam of it. But it's like, I don't think that's the same demo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think people going to see Barbie are going to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think it comes out February 16th on Peacock. That's when I was going to try to watch it.
Yes. I'm hoping to watch that too whenever it comes out, because
I
I'm
like
really excited.
I like DC stuff. Do you like that, or are you?
I watched Marvel for a little while, but I've gotten lost in the recent ones after like Endgame. I kind of stopped watching it. But
I think
I'm
my
not
favorite are
DC.
just like the Batman series, DC stuff. I haven't. Along with a lot of the superhero stuff, I haven't totally gotten into. It's probably because I'm such a Lord of the Rings nerd.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to a YouTube channel, and I watch a video every Sunday that this guy puts out and just talks about like stuff that happened like 7,000 years before the Lord of the Rings even like the story we know even happened.
We need some fans that loyal.
I'm a big Star Wars fan. I think
Star Wars is a great.
I'm kind of that way about Star Wars, honestly.
I'm not so much into the lore and stuff as I am with the Lord of the Rings stuff, but yeah, dude, I grew up on watching those as well. My brother was huge into those, so anything he was watching, I was for sure watching.
I might get beat up for this question, but are The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings two different things?
No, it's
or are they related?
It's a prequel.
Okay, it's the person in The Hobbit is the uncle to the person in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Okay,
Just
so they're connected in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah.
Let's go deep dive. Let's go right now.
I'm hungry. We don't have that much time.
Yeah.
What time I start? At 11 o'clock? Yeah, I don't have that much time. It's 4:30? No.
This is the perfect time to insert our ad for Bad Bread's Barbecue. Can I get some water before we start this one?
Here you go.
Tastes that much better out of a Bad Brad's cup. Hey guys, it's Rhett from the Watering Hole Podcast. We want to tell you about Bad Brad's Barbecue, the longest running sponsor of this podcast, and we really can't thank them enough for that. Bad Brad's has all kinds of dates coming up. I've got a list here all the way into the fall, when they're better. Emily Hollingshed, winner of the Battle of the Bands, one of the top 3 finalists. Cade Roth and the Black Sheep, they're also going to be playing there coming up. Lowdown Drifters, and for you comedy fans out there, Uncle Laser is coming right here to Stillwater to Bad Brad's Barbecue. You got to check it out. When you come see one of these awesome shows at Bad Brad's, you have to try the food. I'm a fan of the jalapeno cornbread and the smoked brisket, while Jagger's a huge fan of the dirty fries. Try one of those out. Tell Vernon we sent you. And we can't thank Bad Brad's enough for sponsoring this podcast. I just looked that way, but there's no camera that way. For Bad Brad's Barbecue. What are you guys going to get? You know?
I have no idea. Sometimes we just like order something just because it's easier, so we don't have to move the van and trailer again.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's your go-to? Like, you pull up DoorDash. What's your go-to?
I don't know. You kind of feel out the green room, kind of feel out the room, see what the guys are wanting.
Yeah.
I love a good Firehouse sub.
Okay.
I don't know if those are in Stillwater.
They used to have one.
Yeah.
Back before COVID.
Yeah. We PF Chang's.
One of those either.
Well, yeah, but that seems to be something that we'll order a lot is PF Chang's. For some reason. Man, we'll do Outback. We'll do Hooters to go. For anyone who watches The Office. But yeah, Firehouse Subs is probably like my quickest like go-to because because you can just text it to everyone. They can all put their orders in and then order it all for everyone, and then boom, everyone's eating a nice 12-inch sandwich.
I'm a big Firehouse fan.
I don't think I've had Firehouse.
Oh,
it's a quality sub.
So I've had
sub.
So you got Firehouse. I've had Quiznos. Have you had Quiznos?
I have had a toasted sub from Quiznos. Yeah.
Okay.
The one in Denton shut down. It's now a It's now a honey baked ham location. It's literally a place that makes nothing but honey baked ham.
Yeah,
honey baked hams.
I've had honey baked ham. That's a downgrade.
It's
hilarious.
It's next to the PetSmart in Denton.
Honey baked ham, please sponsor us.
So we got Quiznos.
I will wrap my trailer in honey baked ham.
You got Subway, Jersey Mike's. What's the other one here in town?
Is there a local sub spot in Stillwater?
Pickleman's,
but that's still kind of a chain.
Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah.
Like there's a place in Denton called New York Subway, or New York Sub or something like New York Sub, and it's a locally owned sub sandwich shop. It's badass.
Huh. Or what are you getting on your sandwich?
Depends on what I'm going for. I love a good meatball sub. I'll tell you, if I'm getting a meatball, I'm getting a half a sub. I can't do a whole meatball sub. That's a
right before a show. That would be intense.
I have ruined my night so many times of going and indulging and eating so much food and then going like, we play at what time, and just feeling like an absolute piece. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss on this.
You're fine. You're fine.
But yeah, you gotta really, like, on show days I eat lunch. Like if I eat a big lunch, I can hold off and like try to like not eat. But like we're hitting gas stations probably once or twice every road trip, so I mean we're snacking on. I'm a big believer that the tube of M&Ms is better than the bag of M&Ms.
The mini ones.
That's a solid take. I like that. Yeah,
that's
the M&M tubes are definitely preferred for me because it's easy. I mean, you just pop the thing, get a couple, close it, keep driving. It's nice.
He's like twirling it between his like fingers while he's
driving.
Yeah.
So is that what when you walk into a convenience store? Is that what you're picking up?
I'm getting an adult Lunchable. It's like the pepperoni and like the shitty crackers, but like they make you feel good about eating them. But yeah, I'm typically getting an adult Lunchable or something like that, or I'll get a meat stick. I'll get a tube of M&Ms, a DP. I'll get a fountain Dr Pepper, and I'll get a water. But a lot of times, like on show, the green room, we just try to steal as much shit out of the green room as we can. So, I mean, we normally have like a couple of cases of water rolling around in the van, literally rolling around in the van.
They don't have the wrapper; it's just like just the bottles.
Yeah, so you can typically reach back and fish around and find a water bottle. But yeah, that'll typically hide me over. Sometimes we'll try to hit a Love's that's got a Subway in it. That's a treat. That's a good treat every now and then.
Gem out there.
If we're going south, you can always count on a Buc-ee's south on 35, towards Austin and all that. You can stop at a Buc-ee's. But yeah, man, I try to keep it pretty simple. You can't indulge too much. I probably eat the most just because like I love driving. So like I'm just up driving, just snacking, just being a fat piece of shit.
Why do you love driving?
I don't know. I don't know. I like driving at night, because there's like no one else on the road, and you can just get behind a line of truckers that haul ass and keep up with them. But yeah, I don't know. I love driving. I love maneuvering the van and trailer in tight parking spots. I love pulling down alleys and figuring out how I'm going to back in when I get there, or where I don't know. I like making sure I'm exactly straight on a line when I'm parking and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm weird. I probably have some form of something that went undiagnosed, but I don't know. I just like driving.
So
I'd probably be a trucker or like a tour bus driver if I didn't do this.
Yeah.
So when you're on the road, you're just heading straight down. Everybody's asleep in the back. Are you just playing Lord of the Rings lore videos, or what else are you listening to?
So like our van has a perfect dip like on the dash. So I set my iPad up there, and I have and it flips open. Yeah. So I'll hook up. I'll play podcasts. I'll play movies or just watch stuff. I mean. Or we'll listen to music, but yeah, I'll typically just throw on a video or something and just watch videos. I mean, but during football season, I mean, we're watching a lot of football and a lot of sports.
Luckily, this show is not sponsored by Oklahoma Highway Patrol, so
are they? They would frown upon that.
I would assume.
So.
I would assume watching stuff while you're driving.
Dude, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I've got it up there on my dash. We pass shit all the time. And we never have any issues.
That's a giant GPS they've got.
Yeah, I've never even thought about a cop seeing that and going, "They're watching a movie. I'm gonna pull them over." Like.
He starts watching it too.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're a van, dude. I don't know. We've never had any issues.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. I've got good window tint, so they might not be able to fully see it.
What kind of sports do you watch? Just football, or?
I like football. Of course, we were big into baseball while the Rangers were hot and winning the World Series. We were watching that a lot. Yeah, pretty much baseball and football, I guess.
College or NFL football?
I love college. We'll watch college football. I used to not be a big NFL watcher when I was younger. To me, it looked like everyone was like equally skilled, equally the same. Like I couldn't, but like I feel like as I've gotten older, I don't know if that's just me or because like maybe when you're a kid, you just look at NFL players, you're just like, God, they're old. Everyone's old when you're a kid. But like now it's just like, damn, some of those kids are 4 years younger than me, or you know, that kid's my age, or that kid's 6 years younger than me. That kid's 20 years old, or you know, that kid's 19 or whatever. I don't know, but I've been watching a lot more NFL as of lately. You know, Cowboys have been sucking. So,
who's your college team?
If you walked in my room when I was like in middle school and like elementary school, I mean, my room was decked out in UT. Everything was burnt orange in my room. I was just a big Texas fan, man.
Grab that camera, let's get the hell out of here.
I mean, you asked the question. But yeah, I had a lot of Texas stuff. I was big. My dad refereed college football.
Really? That's cool.
And one of his referee buddies, his daughter was married the center of Texas when Vince Young was there.
Oh, really?
So they would send me, signed shirts and stuff all the time as when I was a kid. But yeah, I got to go to a lot of college games with my dad because he was refereeing, and we would go to a lot of. The way it works, if like there's like each conference has like 7 or 8 crews.
Yeah.
That are officiates, and the best position, field judge, back judge, side judge, umpire, referee, headlinesman, the best of the best guy from each position, they get to go play or referee the bowl games.
Yeah.
Or the conference could be assigned 1 or 2 or 3 bowl games, and so the best 1 or 2 or 3 guys in the position get, they'll have 2 or 3 crews, a mock-up of all the crews go referee. So every now and then he would get a bowl game, and we would travel. One year we got to go to Disney World because he had the Champ Sports Bowl in Orlando.
Huh.
So we woke up one year and we're going to Disney. So that was cool. So we got to travel a little bit as kids during football season for that kind of stuff.
That's cool. Did you ever get to do like a New Year's Six or a national championship?
No, they reserved that for probably like Pac-10 crews or SEC crews or Big 12 crews. Mm-hmm. He was in the Sun Belt Conference, which is a sister crew of the SEC now. Huh. But so they would do like the Independence Bowl, the Champ Sports Bowl. They would do we did the Kraft Mac and Cheese Bowl. We went out to when I was a sophomore in high school. We went out to San Francisco. And we did the Kraft Mac and Cheese Bowl, and that was like Missouri and Navy or something like that. Yeah. I mean, good teams. I mean, it's fun to watch. But yeah, no, those big games are reserved for the power conferences crews.
So are you still a UT fan?
Man, no. I kind of grew out of that whole thing. I just like watching football. I just like watching football for the love of it. I'm not diehard. Like, I don't have like any like sport. I don't have any college sport team decals on my refrigerator or anything like that. Like, you probably, if you went to my house, you probably wouldn't even think I watch sports.
Yeah. You do a lot of hunting too, right?
I do some hunting. I wouldn't say I do. I mean, I'm not a all the time. I do like I'll do a little bit of dove hunting, whitetail hunting, and a big. Me and my tour manager Jake, we love turkey hunting. Like, that's our springtime turkey hunting is like our favorite. So that's like our favorite time of year for hunting. So April, April and early May.
So you just did some stuff with On Tour Outdoors not too long ago, right?
Yeah, we did. We went down to South Texas, and we got to hunt at this really awesome ranch. They do a lot of good stuff. I don't know why they let us go hunt there, but they were super nice. They do a lot of all the stuff they do is free. Like, so anyone that gets invited there, they're all terminally ill kids or war veterans that get to go there and hunt, and they take care of like all their lodging, their food and stuff like that. And we went down there and made a video and like kind of a promotional video for them as well. Mm-hmm. And we went down there and I got a doe and I got a management buck on their they have high fence, low fence, and we were on their low fence. Just, they said, looking at, just hunting management stuff. My tour manager he got a black buck. They had some free range exotic stuff out there on the low side, on the low fence. So they said we could, have at any exotic stuff. That's cool. I would have loved an axis. I'm still after an axis, and axis is like the first exotic I would love to get the chance to go hunt.
Tumbleweed Dancehall. Hey guys, it's Rhett from the Watering Hole Podcast, and we want to give a huge shout out to the Tumbleweed right here in Stillwater. The Tumbleweed's been a huge part of our podcast and helping us get artists. And of course, as you know, they put on Calf Fry, as you can see behind me, one of the greatest festivals around, and that's the episode you're seeing right now, is what we did at Calf Fry, thanks to the Tumbleweed. They have all kinds of concerts lined up. They are closed during the summer, but time fall comes back around, they'll have a great lineup for you. I really wish we could share some details on that, but you're going to want to stick around to hear that. Thank you to Tumbleweed Dancehall for sponsoring this podcast.
What is an axis?
An axis is it's a lighter tan deer, and it has white spots all over it. Mm-hmm. And the horns, they're kind of like they go straight up. They're kind of caribou. They're kind of caribou-ish. I'm sure some people listen to this and go, God, you have no idea what you're talking about. But they're very majestic looking
like that?
deer. Yeah, that's an axis. Yeah. They're just super cool. And they taste amazing. Axis meat is awesome. It's even different than, say, like a white-tailed deer. I mean, it's
where
great.
Are they native to?
God, I don't know where they came from. Probably India or something like that, if I had to guess.
Native to the Indian subcontinent.
Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that.
But that's like I would love to. I've never shot a mule deer. I'd love to hunt a mule deer. Like that's a thing I'd love to do. They even have in the Panhandle in Texas. They have hybrids, which is like a mule deer whitetail cross. So it's like the body of a whitetail, but it's got ears like a mule deer, or it's got the big body like a mule deer and little ears like a whitetail. I don't know. They're cool, but there's still plenty of hunting in my life I would love to go do. But yeah, I've been fortunate to get out and do some over the past couple years, for sure. And with On Tour Outdoors, they've the last probably 10 or 12 times I've gone hunting has been with Jake and On Tour Outdoors.
It looks really cool. I showed him a long time ago that, and then we met Kody, and then Kody was telling us about it, and it seems like a really cool thing they got going.
Yeah. So Jake's been doing it. Jake, my tour manager's been doing On Tour Outdoors for probably 3 or 4 years now, and recently teamed up with Kody, and Cody's been doing some filming and doing their merch and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
So is Jake the one that kind of started it, or?
Yeah, Jake. Yeah. Jake started On Tour Outdoors.
Oh, okay.
A couple years ago.
Shout
So
out to
that's how he
Kody
got
and-
on the show.
Yeah, that's my foot in the door. Otherwise, I don't think I'd be out there.
But shout out to Kody and CH Lonestar merch.
Oh yeah, they keep
They do your guys' merch too?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
assuming?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've known Kody. I probably met Kody when I was like 14 or 15. He was a roommate with a buddy of mine, and we would hang out together and stuff like that. So I've known Kody a long time. And then he used to do HVAC. He used to do all sorts of stuff.
He seems like one of those guys that do a little bit of everything.
Cody's been involved in
Yeah.
literally everything that you could think of. And then a couple of years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say, he'd probably tell you different, but then he started doing like marketing and promotional items for businesses and stuff like that. Then he got into working with bands, and I think that's where he likes his business now is doing music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he still has like, I think he does like school districts, like when they have like playoff game T-shirts. I think he still does stuff. I mean, he does a lot of business other than just bands.
They've got a crazy lineup of artists they work with.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, they do.
And I was kind of late to it. Not that I was doing my own. I did my own merch, or not my own, but like I would just like order it through, different companies around, and then I would mail my own merch out and stuff like that, and it just got too overwhelming, and so he started doing all the e-commerce stuff as well, for my merch site, so they can print on demand and do all that stuff for me, which makes it to where I just don't have to keep because I used to keep stock like in our trailer for shows,
Yeah.
and then I would also try to keep stock in my house. And not my house is not huge by any means, and so my wife would get mad. We would half our house be just Kody West shirts. It's just like
She's like, "Who do you think you are?"
yeah, exactly.
If she's ever like trying to go out somebody where she's like, I just don't know what to wear. You're like, there's plenty of stuff to wear. It's all right here.
There's a brand new black shirt there, or a yellow shirt, or a green shirt, or something like that.
I got a pitch for you. It's a brand new shirt design. Here it is. It's a brand new Kody West shirt.
Yeah, yeah. No, she's been super supportive. I've been with her since since I was 18 or 19. We were both 19. So she's been with me we've been together since before I was doing any of all this. So it's definitely been fun to grow with the same person.
CH Lonestar promo. Hey guys, it's Jager over at the Watering Hole. I'm holding some of our brand new merch here, and this is made by our friends over at CH Lonestar. CH Lonestar is one of the best merch companies out there, and they'll serve all your artist needs, but they also will serve even your personal needs. So Kody over at CH Lonestar can do just about anything you want. If you want a pair of socks, Kody will put your face on those socks. If you want a pair of underwear, Kody will put your face on a pair of underwear. Now, CH Lonestar is one of the premier merch companies of the country scene, or really any music scene out there. You guys go check out CH Lonestar for some of the best merch out there. Thank you to CH Lonestar promo for sponsoring this podcast.
It was so Green. The song, I had a song called Green, and then me and my producer. I had two producers, Josh Serrato, he was the original guitar player for 6 Market Boulevard, and then he played for William Clark Green, and now he's with Co. So I had Serrato and Ben Hussey, the original guitar player, or the original bass player for 6 Market, and played with the Quails, and Statesboro Review, and numerous other acts, American Aquarium. So I had Serrato and Hussey as my producers, and me and Hussey rewrote this song that I had called Green, and we turned it into what the song is now, and just kept the title the same as Green, because it was kind of about a young couple, or young people just growing up and not being fully developed and being green. Yeah, I think that's kind of how, and then that it just, I guess after listening to I think we had like 12 songs recorded, and we released 10, and that was the strongest one out of the track list. So that was the title track that we chose.
Cool. Whenever you go to like compile an album, do you like try to like have kind of like a story behind the album or a theme at least, or does it you just kind of put on what you think?
Like, are you meaning like when I set the track list, or like when I go to make an album? Like, is the entire album about a story, or are you asking if the entire album has a theme?
But basically, like whenever you like compile, do you have a theme for the album that you have in mind, or you just have like some songs you think kind of fit together on the album?
I wish I was that good of a writer. There are so many bands that each album is just like a, their lead singers are probably they can probably write books for a living, and the thought of writing books for a living literally gives me anxiety. It feels like I would just sign me up to do homework. But I wish I was probably more creative when it came to writing. Like, that's probably the thing I struggle the most in, is writing. I can hack around on a guitar, but so like, what's the question?
I was just like, whenever you like set a track list. Or,
or
compile
is there
an
a
album,
theme?
is
Yeah,
there a theme?
I wish I could go into an album and say, yes, I want to have whole album be this theme, and each song be different, and also, and also have the same vibe or theme. But I don't know. Maybe they all have a same. Maybe they all feel like they have a theme. I mean, Green definitely had like a. I mean, I wrote all those songs when I was like 19 or 20. And to me, they were very like unfinished, like lyrically, but like people love them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I paid more attention on writing with my my recent albums. And people love those as well. But like, I feel like I paid attention more to like the words and the writing and stuff like that. But I guess you could say like maybe Circles and Overgrown and Green have like themes to them, but I haven't even thought about what those would be. How do you feel about them? Do you think they have themes, or do you think they're what do you think?
I feel like, I don't know, I get like a certain vibe from like, especially from Green. I don't know why. It just like the whole vibe of the album feels very similar. I don't know why, but just when I listen to it, it does.
Yeah.
It's like I feel the same way throughout all the songs.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like other like artists, I know some of them when they write all the songs, they write all the songs at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
which can
yeah, or even some of them are like literally a story. Like Sturgill Simpson's last album he did, it was the Ballad of Dude and Juanita. It's just one whole story.
Oh yeah,
and it's all just. It's like cohesive. Yeah. But it's, I don't know.
I wish I could do something.
Yeah.
I wish I was that smart.
Yeah. And then like, and then some of them, like, for example, like Tyler Childers, what was the one? I'm trying to think. It was the one after Purgatory. I don't know why I can't think of the album. But like, I don't think like the music or at least the songs were as connected with the music. Like, it was kind of cool. Each song faded into the next one. So it's just like if you played in order, like it's like the track will fade into the next one. So I don't know if that's something, but
well, now that you say that, I will say like the song's Green and our song Loose Ends. I feel like Loose Ends is like a part 2 to Green.
Okay, cool.
I feel like Overgrown is like a part 2 to our song called The Way. And it's not intentional, but it's like as I'm writing a song, I'll think back to going like, oh, I'm kind of touching the same thing I was touching on this other song, just in a different way with different chords and different lyrics and all that kind of stuff. But I very much have like, I feel like some of my songs are. Shut up, Siri. I feel like some of my songs are like part 1s and part 2s, but throughout different albums. Like a song on Green might have a part 2 on Overgrown or Circles.
That's pretty cool. Like to like write like that, and I think that's something like a lot of people like wouldn't know.
Yeah, Maybe like a little Easter egg or something like that. Like that band Sleep Token I was talking about earlier. They have like a lot of Easter eggs in their songs. Like they'll incorporate taglines or lines from a verse or a pre-chorus, and it'll be buried in behind another song, like, and they'll just like cleverly and like just add it in.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah,
stuff like that's cool.
And there's little stuff that, like, I don't know, I really enjoy. Like you mentioned Turnpike earlier. Throughout like a lot of their albums, they'll mention Lori.
Yeah,
but it's just like,
who's Lori?
Who's Lori? It's like, it's just like a person that travels throughout.
It's also,
the album.
I mean, there's names that just roll off the tongue that just fit in songs. Like Lori just fits in a song.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's like, I don't know. It'd be hard to write a song like Rebecca. Like, I don't know. There's just like some name. You know, not that
Roxanne.
No offense to anyone named Rebecca or Roxanne, but there's just like just Lori lit a cigarette, smile and wave, and that it just roll. That just sounds more natural than trying to like fit like maybe that's an alias name for someone he really knows, and instead of like using their real name, he's just
Miranda. Oh no,
it was Miranda.
Oh.
But
well,
sometimes
Kody,
you need a 2-syllable word and not a 3. So
Yes.
Lori is 2 syllables, and it'll help you out.
I got one more question for you.
What's up?
Before we let you go eat. If you could make a cover album of anybody out there, any genre, any time period, what would it be?
Every song is by the same artist?
Yeah, but it can be any compilation of albums.
That's a good one. Oh, it'd be cool to do like a compilation album of like man, that's a good question. There's so many bands like I have like a lot of like, I don't know. There's like, I'm thinking right now of like it'd be cool to be Coldplay for a night.
Okay.
I
Cool.
would do a bunch of Coldplay songs.
That's a good
As
answer.
cheesy as people probably think that but they've got some great songs.
No, we've never gotten that answer before.
Yeah, we haven't.
So.
I would do a bunch of Coldplay songs. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
That would be it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you stopping by, and
You
we're
bet.
going to send you on your way to get something to eat now before the show. So.
Thank y'all for having me,
Yeah,
man. This was
absolutely.
awesome. Next time
Yeah.
we do this, I'll play. We can set it up to where I can play something too.
Cool.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.